right. So if you choose Facing West is a playlist on Spotify. If you like, you can hook it up. I pulled it to the top. So if you go to my Spotify where I have all the list of vinyasa, I will clean that up this weekend so it's easier to get to. Have a great ride. I will see you. Some of us practice on the mat. Some of us practice on our mountain bikes. Wherever you get your practice, wherever you feel connected, that's where you start your Saturday. Fantastic. Brian, I saw that you were online this morning, my fellow. I hope you're feeling better. Hope you're back. Yes, very nice. I hope your back is behaving. Be wise, be kind today. All right. Kelly will keep an eye on you. Good morning, Laurie. So a strap is a maybe. 2 blocks will be good, and a blanket as ever for knees. And so if you choose and you're loading it up, Facing West on Spotify or any music that you choose, anything that really, mostly the music for me is evocative. All of us can get on our mats. All of us can move. And our question this morning, what are we doing with it? What are we doing with it? As we move today, we'll make openings, we'll make alignments, we'll make strength, we'll make heat, we'll make breath. And in this, we will reconnect to who we are and what we're here to do. And as you find that flow reestablished in yourself, I would ask you to gather it in and let it feed you. Let it bring to you the answers to the questions you're carrying, but not even saying aloud. We can all do this, and yet the magic of what we are doing is that there are different answers for each of us in these postures, in these moments, in this breath. We'll start on our back. What we're making, make it what you will. Take it in, make it yours. You will start on Interlace. Interlace, if you go in there. And then as you lie back, be sure that you can get to a block. So you have a block in one hand, knees are bent, feet are flat. We're just going to establish the pelvic floor a little bit here so that we know how to hold ourselves together. So knees bent, feet flat, a block between your thighs. And on your exhalation, you're holding that block by letting your thighs fall in. And as you do, you're lifting the pelvic floor. And you just pause there. And then as you breathe in, you relax your legs, and there's a sensation of expanse that starts to come through the pelvis. On your exhalation, you're holding the block, gathering it in, pelvic floor rising, navel gathers back. And then on your inhale, you're relaxing the pelvis, relaxing the legs, and just let that happen a little bit. One more time. And on your inhale, hands coming overhead. On your exhale, hold the block, bring your hands back down. You're gathering, pause, empty. And then releasing, inhaling, a sensation of real release through the body. Exhale, hands coming down. So the pelvic floor, the anus, the reproductive organs, all rising back towards the navel, and then let it go. And one more time. Sometimes our inability to find the pelvic floor is because it can't let go. We're so stressed out. Release. Relax the legs, hands overhead. Lift your head and shoulders and lift your heels. Hold the block. Feet down, hands overhead. Inhale. Exhale as you rise, gathering low belly, pelvic floor up into the body. And then relax all of that. Feet down, hands overhead, a big surge, a wave of energy. One more like that, rise. And then feet down, hands overhead. Put your palms together. And bring your hands outside your right thigh, heels up, stay a beat. Right hand overhead, inhale, open. And the right hand to the left, pause. Inhale, right hand moves. Exhale, palm to palm. Nothing else moves. We're building stability, opening, closing. We go one more time. So your thighs are holding the block. The navel is holding the spine. Feet down, hands overhead. Let it through. Palms together outside the left thigh. Stay a beat. Left hand only. Inhale, take it overhead. And exhale, palm to palm. Hold. Inhale, overhead. Exhale, gather your palms together, your thighs together. And then inhale, lengthen. And exhale, press. Feet down, hands overhead. Relax the legs, up and out. And now knees to chest, reach towards your heels. Legs extending. Inhale, opening. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, open. If it's too much with your legs extending, you put your feet to the floor. And here we're just going to flush out the tension, the worry, the preoccupation, the fear of last week, of last month, all the way through the navel. For 3, turn on your engine, light your fire. 2, and 1. Set the block down, hands wide. Breath into your belly. Relaxing the pelvic floor, relaxing the navel, softening the inner organs, the flush of blood through your inner thighs, the crease of your hips, the inner organs, all the way up under the jaw. Good morning, good morning. Hands to your shins, roll it up. Your blanket is folded and under your knees. Let's find this. Hands and knees. Hands and knees. Blocks are out in front. Knees and shins are on your blanket. And on your exhalation, just fold back into your child. A little bit side to side, wag your tail, bring it out. And on your inhale, rise, hands, knees, broaden your back. Exhale as you round down. Inhale as you rise, lengthen out. And exhale as you round. We'll add the Om, A in the hips, U in the chest, M in the head, so we go back with it. Om. Inhale, rising. Om. One more. Hands and knees. Round your back, tuck your chin, drop your head. Hips side to side, head side to side. Tuck the chin more. Plant your hands, feet flat, in line with your knees. Check it out. And then inhale forward and exhale round. Inhale forward, exhale round. Close your eyes, we go for 10. Feel your way through your spine, moving through the hips first and letting your spine follow. How can we become a little more receptive to the movement? How can we allow the breath instead of pulling or pushing at the breath? Letting into us the intelligence that's available. Go one more, go one more. Pause. Hip side to side. Head falls. Hip side to side. And tuck your toes and lift your hips. Keep it soft. Pedal it out. One heel and then the other. One heel and then the other. Looking forward, maybe or maybe not, onto your fingertips. Shift your weight back. Put your left foot in the center line. Right heel high. And just pause. Float through your armpits, open through your legs. Open your mouth, shake out your jaw, turn your head. lifting, floating your palms, bend and straighten your upper leg. And the right foot comes down. Stay on fingertips if you can. If not, the hands are flat. Change. Left heel floats up. So your knees may be really bent, and that's fantastic. You're simply working to begin to lift your right hip up out of the right heel. Lift your palms away from the floor. Bend and straighten your left leg. And you'll feel a little lift through the navel, a little lift through the diaphragm. Take your time. And 2 feet down, 2 hands, flat, down dog. Ha! What will we do with the change we are making? Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Right foot steps up between your hands. Left knee to the floor, please. A little forward, a little back. A little forward, a little back. And if that means that your blocks are handy on either side, hands on blocks, a little forward, a little back. As you go back, draw your toes back. As you go forward, draw your heart forward. Keep your back toes tucked under and move from your feet. Come onto your fingertips now. And start to bring the underside of your heart forward. And the underside of your seat back. So your right hip goes back and then your heart comes forward. Go one more time. Good, good, good. Hands on fingertips, stay. Heart forward, chest broad. Steady. Steady. Come on now. There we go. All right. Perfect. Hands high. Hold opposite elbows. Back toes are tucked under now, so straightening up. And bending your knee. Inhale, coming up. Little wriggle, soft, bend your knee, bring it forward. One more, bring it up. And as you bend your front knee, hands wide, palms, chest, throat. Back toes press down, front ball of foot presses down, chest is broad, heart is high. We arrive. Left hip opens. One more step. Take your left palm to the back of your right shoulder. Take your right hand to your left elbow, go up. Left elbow goes up, front knee bends, 2 hands wide, set down. Step back, downward facing dog. Press your left hand down and your left hip high. Left hand down, left hip high, left heel back. Left side body is changing. Left foot steps up. Right knee down, toes tucked under, hands on blocks, forward and back, forward and back. So just start right in the crease of your hips. Ha! Which can be sticky, and each side is different. Forward and back. As though you were gently adding a little WD-40, a little engine oil, let it move. Come onto your fingertips. Start to bring your heart forward. Start to take your left hip back. Heart comes forward. Ha. Hip goes back. Gaze stays forward. Looking forward, we go 3. And back. And 2, as though we were at the starting blocks, and ahead of us is a race we know, a race we're ready for, a beautiful run to feel our own power. One more. Take your left knee forward, your heart high. Stay. Stay. Right hip is coming forward. Throat is opening. Shoulder blades soft down the back. Let your body melt into the pose. Let it become effortless. Tiny adjustments. Hands high. Hold opposite elbows. And again, forward and back. Forward and back. So the back toes press down. You're moving from your feet. A little shimmy. A little shimmy. And as you bend your left knee, open that right hip. Open your hands wide. Press your feet down. Your chest broad. Collarbones open, shoulder blades down your back. Right hand, put your palm to your left shoulder. Left hand, put your your left hand to your right elbow. And take your right elbow up and take your elbow out of your right hip. Find breath and release it wide. Set it downward facing dog. Right hand presses down, right hip high, right heel back. We are made to move. And in our movement, we begin to make sense of where we are. We give ourselves permission to shift and to change. And so we start. Walk feet forward. Sit your seat back and down, hands go wide. Sitting down, thumbs up, heart up, stand up. Inhale, palms together. Put your thumbs down your back. And then inhale, release, bring it up. Exhale, fold. Softly. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Left foot steps back, left knee down. Follow me now. Inhale up. Your left hand to your right shoulder. Right hand to your left elbow. Take a breath in, go up. Take a breath out. Settle in the feet. One more inhale. Exhale, hands wide, fold down. Just building it. Step back, downward facing dog. Breath in and breath out. Left foot steps up, right knee down, two hands wide. Inhale up. Right hand to your left shoulder. Left hand holds your right elbow. Inhale. Exhale, settle. Let it drop into the hips. A breath in. And let it go. Two hands down. Right foot steps up. Inhale, lengthen. Hips high, heart long. And fold. Elbows wide. Sit down. Thumbs up, heart up, stand up. Palms together and down the back. Tuck your chin. Inhale, reach up, look up. And on the exhale, fold down. Follow the breath. Lift halfway. Same return. Right foot steps back. Right knee down. Two hands high. Inhale. Right hand to your left shoulder, left hand, right elbow. Inhale, lengthen it up. Exhale, settle. Inhale, open. Right hand down. Stepping back, downward facing dog, a breath. Right foot steps up, left knee down. And sweep up. Inhale, left hand, right shoulder. Right hand, left elbow, reaching. Inhale up. Exhale, settle. Inhale, opening. And then releasing. Stepping up. Lift halfway and lengthen. And fold all the way down. Hands wide, sit down, thumbs up, heart up, stand up. Palms together, down the back. And we add on. Inhale, lift up, look up. Fold. Lift halfway. Left foot steps back, left knee down, two hands high. Left palm to your right shoulder. Take a breath in right here. So you're opening left elbow, left hip, left knee. And then you're folding down. Step back, down dog. Press back. Pause a beat. High plank, so draw your shoulders over your wrists, and we'll do that twice. Bend knees, inhale, down dog. And exhale, press to high plank. And into dog. Left foot will step up, right knee down, two hands high. Inhale, rise, no rush. Right hand to your left shoulder. Left hand, right elbow. A breath in, open up. Breath out, settle. Breath in, open. And release. Step your right foot up, lift halfway, lengthen up. Fold down. Turn your head. Sit down deeply, hands wide, sit up, stand up. And down the back. One more time. Reach up, lift up, look up. Fold at the hips, take it down. Lift halfway. Take your right foot back and your right knee down, two hands high. Right hand to your left elbow. Right hand to your left shoulder. Left hand holds your elbow. So you're opening right elbow, right hip, right knee, and press your right toes down and let it go. And set yourself back, down dog. Right hand, right hip, right heel, a line. Inhale, high plank, look forward, heart forward. And downward facing dog. Bend your knees, lift your hips high, go again, high plank, look forward. And downward facing dog. Press. The left foot steps up. No, the right foot steps up. Left knee down, 2 hands high. Left hand, right shoulder. Right hand, left elbow. Just open that line. Right elbow. Left elbow, left hip, left knee. And 2 hands down. Stepping your left foot up, lift halfway. Fold down, putting your hands behind your calves, your ankles, or your heels. Give it 2 breaths. Inhale as you lengthen, lift softly. And keep the heart long as you fold down. Finding the center of your heels with your weight, the balls of your feet with your attention, the tips of your toes. And then hands wide, knees bend, thumbs up, seat down, stand tall. Interlace your fingers, turn your palms to the ceiling. Heart up, chin in, stay 3. Wag the tail, palms up, shoulders in, stay 2. What will we do with what we're making? Hands wide, interlace your fingers behind your back, and the knuckles are along your spine, thumbs pointing up. You just let your elbows move, and we're going to give it a whisper of ha for 10 times. Bring it up. And feel the change in the chest, in the arms, in the heart palms together, down the middle. And let it go. Feel the clarity in your legs, the height of your heart, the space of your chest. And if this is all the time you had, we would be started. Our day would be cleared and different. We go on. Inhale up. Soften your knees and fold it down. Halfway up. To step yourself back, finding a downward facing dog. Left foot towards the center, the right heel goes high. And face the other way so you can see it more clearly. Right heel high. Bend and straighten your right leg again, anchoring into the left heel. Bend your right knee, roll your right hip open, straighten. One more time, big bend. And step your right foot outside of your right hand and bring your left knee down. Heel is on the mat, your right toes are off the mat, and your hand is on a block, or if you like, both. So your left hand points to 10 o'clock and your right hand comes up high. As you start a soft circle, let your hips come forward and back, just 3 times. So your right knee is going a little wider to the right. And your hand is finding a great circle through the chest. One more time. You'll bring your right hand to your right thigh and stay. Right hand to the right thigh. And press your right knee softly to the right. Press your left hand down. And your pubis, your whole pelvis coming forward through the center line. A little bit of an upward facing dog. So look up to the ceiling and turn to look to the right. And look up to the ceiling and turn to the right. Then open your collarbones. Come your weight on your right front ball of foot. If you like, lift the back knee off the floor. Revolve a little further. Open the navel, open the chest, open the throat up into the face. And the left knee down to the floor. Heel toe your right foot to the center line. And put your blocks inside that right front foot and set yourself up for warrior 2. So the back foot to the floor, and just sweep your arms wide and we'll flush that out. Inhale, bring your hands together. Exhale, bend your knee, hands wide we go. Inhale, rise. Little shimmy, up, 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 up. And then bend your front knee, hands wide. Inhale, rising. And exhale, bending your front knee. Staying. Notice that you can put your weight in your heels. And as you put your weight in your heels, you can bend your right knee. Right elbow bends, right elbow to the right thigh. Left hand comes up and over. From your left hip to your left heel, extend into the floor. We'll come up and out for a moment. Sweep wide, warrior two. Straighten your front leg as you reverse. Opening, little wriggle, up and out. And back down into warrior two. Elbow to thigh, sweep over. Take your left hand to your right shoulder now. Look up under your left armpit. Maybe the back of your head coming into the forearm. Reaching from your left elbow now to your left hip to your left heel. Right knee bends, one more breath. And take it up. Warrior two, one more moment. Straighten your front leg, reach back. Right hand to your left shoulder. And the back of your head to your forearm. And your left hand is on the back of your left thigh. Press your front big toe into the floor. Up and out into the right elbow. One more, one more. And right hand comes down to those blocks. So you built the legs in that movement. More than anything, the legs were holding you up. So your right hand is under your right shoulder. Your left hand is over your right hand. Let your hips come a little forward. Let your chest go wide. Turn your chin. Turn your left palm to face the same direction as the crown of your head. Stand in your left heel. And the left hand reaches overhead and you look down. And the left hand reaches back to your left hip and you look up. Over the shoulder, one more, just that way. Look down, reach over. Left hand to your hip, look up. Keep looking up and bring your left hand over the top. Stay three. Under the armpit, down into the feet, down into your right hand. Stay two. So much clarity through the legs, through the arms, through the breath. And your left hand comes down. Take your blocks, put them inside your left foot. Pivot to the left side. And bring your right knee down to the floor. Good, good, good. Turn your left heel on the mat. Left toes are off the mat, so you turn to 10 o'clock. Your block under your right hand, and the right hand turns to 2 o'clock. So you can find this large, open circle through the left hips. Facing the back of your mat. And then keeping your left arm where it is, spin. Left hand to your left thigh, press away. Come your weight onto the ball of your left foot. Feel your navel come away from your pelvis. Feel your heart come away from your navel. Hooking up and left and up and left, up and left. Let your jaw open. Upward facing dog. If you choose, lift the back knee off the floor and spiral from your back heel right up through the belly. And then right knee down. Looking down, walk your left foot to the center line. Heel toe. Stack your blocks and build your warrior two. Back foot to the floor. Open wide. Now we flush out the left side. Palms together, inhale up. Make space, slow it down. Exhale, go wide. Left knee bends deeply. Heels now. Into the heels, rise through the heart, into the hands. Bend your left knee, take your left knee left. Feel it through your whole body. One more, feel it. Rising tall, keep it tall, shimmy it out. And then wide, and then wide, and then stay. Left knee bends. You're in your feet to start. Heels down, toes long. Open the back of your right knee. Deepen the bend of the left knee. Left elbow, left thigh. Right hand comes over. Take your time. Open the right side hip. All the way to the right side heel. You're building your base. You're building your base. Warrior two, sweep wide, stand up. And reverse it. Drop your right hand, straighten up, go back. Little shimmy, open the hips, open the shoulders, open the gaze. And left knee bends and hand wide. Good. Left elbow, left thigh, right hand up overhead. There's your base. Bend your right elbow, right hand to your left shoulder. Drop your head back, feel your forearm. Your forearm meets your head, and you reach into the very tip of your right elbow. Right elbow, right hip, right heel. Make that line firm and clear, bend your left knee. Knee goes left. For two, firm your right leg. Stand in the floor with your right foot. And then reverse, hands open wide. Straightening the left leg. Reach back, give it a little shimmy. Left hand goes to the back of your right shoulder. Back of your head finds the forearm. Bend your left knee a wee bit. Firm your back leg. Crescent, square your hips. Heart back. Head back. Good. Straighten the left leg deeply and the left hand wide and down to the blocks. Right hand follows up. And stay and feel the lines. Stand in your feet. Firm your legs like you were standing with purpose. And let that spin your spine. Let it open your collarbones. Weight in your heels. Right hand open above you. Chest is broad. And you may work right here, feeling those lines become clearer. Or reaching over, look down. All the way through the right thigh. Sweep your right hand over and down to your hip and look up. And then sweep down and look down. Good, good. One more. Sweep your right hand to your right hip. Stay. Your gaze stays up. Legs are strong. Right hand high and over. Stay three. Left hand to press down to turn the ribs. Left heel into the floor. Right heel into the floor. What would you do with this? What would you make? And two hands come down. Walk yourself to the center. So both toes turn towards the left side of your mat. A little wag of the tail. Feet wide. And we'll bring your block right under the center of your chest. If you need to, slide your blanket back. And your right hand is under your chest, and the block is under the heart, and the left hand comes up high. And we turn. And we turn. Ha! Take your left hand, bring it back down, and bring it behind the right arm towards the right shin. Holding your shin if you can, just a tuck of the chin, a rinse right through the spine. And release. Inhale back up. That will be three. Left hand down towards the right heel, towards the right ankle, towards the right shin. And then inhale back up. Rinsing right through the central channel of your spine. One more time. Hand to the floor, the heel, the ankle, or the shin. Turning the navel and reaching tall. Stay three. Ha. Your seat goes back like you were seated on the wall behind you. Weight in your heels, toes are long, chest is square. And we change sides, two hands on the floor, bend one knee, bend the other. Any tension that's established in the legs, bring the weight into the balls of your feet. Get a little springy, a little free. Good, good, good. Left hand down under the center of your heart. Right hand coming high, up and out. So find the heels of the feet, the spin of the navel, the turn of the chin, the right hand high, lengthen the spine. Right hand down behind the left towards the foot, to the heel, to the shin. And then draw your heart back a little bit for a moment and let it go. Inhale, right hand high. And then exhale, bring it down. Ha. And inhale, bring it up. So in this way, we're actually rinsing opening, lengthening the whole right side of the spine. When you find this, a little tuck of the chin, open the right side spine, right side shoulder, and then inhale, bring it up to stay a beat. Weight in the balls of your feet, sit back in your thighs, long through the spine, long through the throat. Good. And 2 hands down, step yourself up to a downward facing dog. And just feel the space that you have made. Out the arms, out the legs, knees can be soft. Open the armpits, open the wrists, turn of the chin. How three-dimensional our legs can become. In our Kundalini set this May, we are using our legs, in particular those little jumping jacks. It's only 2 minutes, but oddly enough, it really can shake us around, and it can loosen stagnant energy. It can clear the lines. So your right foot will step up, and your left knee will come down. If you like a block under your left hand, we'll take the right hand high, so that space you made in the chest just now, perfect. Right hand goes back, and the left knee bends. So if you can't reach, you're reaching towards it. If you can, you're catching the outer ankle. And if you've caught hold, you're pressing your outer ankle into your hand and you're drawing your chest open. Your front heel draws towards your back knee. You revolve through the navel, you turn through the chest, go 2. Your heart coming back. Letting everything fit together, opening the front of the left thigh. And the right hand sweeps down. 2 hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Just feeling how we open the front of the left thigh, and actually the left leg seems to be much longer. The left leg seems longer than the right, perhaps. Left foot steps up. Right between the hands, right knee down. Putting a block underneath your right hand if you choose. Coming up. Turning. So my chest opens just like we've done so far, reaching back. This may be your pose, or bending your right knee. This may be your pose, or catching hold. Turn your chest. Press your foot into your hand. Broaden your collarbones. Lift your heart. And now soften the whole pose. It's bound. It's steady. Right hand down. Opens the right side of the throat. Left knee bends, opening the right hip. Where will we take it? What about ourselves will we change? And what about changing ourselves will change our lives, our relationships? We're not just in the physical body here. And letting go. And 2 hands downward facing down. Feel that through the navel, the lines of the legs, the clarity of your feet from your heels all the way into the toes. Chest is broad, armpits are buoyant. Right foot steps up, right knee down. Put your block inside your front foot, right hand down on the block. Left hand now opens back. So opening the left side. So turning into the body is actually sometimes a little more accessible. If you need to, right hand, turn the block up. If you need to, turn the block up and bend your left knee and catch the inner ankle and press. Right hand, right thigh. If you like, right hand extends. Thumb, first fingers touch. 3. Square your hips, square your chest. 2. And setting it down. Right hand down, left foot down, downward facing dog. Changing sides. Feel the abdomen now. That we're moving into the pelvis, into the low belly, into the space behind the diaphragm. Left foot steps up, right knee down, right hand sweeps back. If you choose, hand on block inside your foot. Right hand back, bending the knee, catching your inner ankle. Hand on thigh if you choose. So the left knee forward, the right foot pressing back, broadening the collarbones, square your hips, square your chest. Feel it open through the low belly, the crease of the hip, the line of the stomach meridian. And then the right hand down. Downward facing dog. We make space through the belly. We make space through the body. We make space through the way that we make sense of the world. The abdomen, the belly, the place where we digest and assimilate not just our food, but our emotions and our experiences. And there's so much to digest right now. So we open the chest and the collarbones, and then we cleared out the legs so that when we open the abdomen like that, it has somewhere to go. If you have a blanket and you like to use it when you're belly down, put it lengthwise so that you have padding from your hips to your low ribs. And then come to belly down, really rinsing out the belly here. Wag the tail, the thighs, walk back, hands under your shoulders. A little peel up, and we're just going to roll down through the belly. Rolling up, rolling down. We did this last month in Kundalini. And find a little rhythm, rolling down. Let it be light. You're not going for height. You're just rolling through the spine, rolling through the abdomen. You can wag your tail, loosen your hips, roll through the chest. Go 3. Loosen the hips, loosen the spine and the shoulders so that when you rise, you'll come to Sphinx. Elbows down, palms face the floor. Elbows are under your shoulders. Draw your heart forward and settle. Hips into the floor. Hips into the floor, legs long. In your attention, in your mind's eye, find your outer hips and wrap them forward towards your elbows. In your attention, in your mind's eye, find your inner thighs and wrap them down toward the floor and let that open the backs of your knees. And as you open the backs of your knees, let that open your collarbones. And as your collarbones open, let that open your diaphragm right below your lungs. Try to widen your elbows without moving them. That the whole center line of your body is widening. Pivot your hands wider than your elbows. Nothing changes, but the palms go down. And the heart comes up. Draw your heart forward with your fingertips. Firm your legs. Outer hips forward. Inner thighs down. Seal. Long through the heart. Long and strong through the chest. Firm your legs. And roll your way down as you walk your hands out. Thumbs point up. Thumbs point up. Chest is down. Press your right hand down and your left foot down to raise your right foot and your left hand. So opposite hand, opposite foot, and then down. Right hand up, left foot up. Press the opposite hands into the floor. So we press one down and we lift the opposite. Tuck your chin. And you're not lifting your chest, you're lifting your limbs. And the line from thumb to heel to hand is stronger. 3. So we're moving now, not from the navel. We're moving all through the upper back and the navel is stabilized. So all the uncertainty in our body as our physical navel is stabilized can move through and out. When our navel is stable, we are stable. One more. And 2 hands, 2 feet. Bend your elbows. Feet are floating. Legs are pointed. Inhale, reach out, and exhale, draw back. So we'll add the mouth and the tongue. Inhale, and then exhale out the mouth, tongue out. Inhale, reach. Inhale. 2 more. One more. Hands down. Rise up, soft. Drop your head, wag your tail. That we let it through us. Knees a little wider, toes a little together, and fold towards child. Take your time. Get your breath into your mid and upper back. That all the space you made in the collarbones, all the rinsing of the spine, you could let the uncertainty just run out of you, out of the arms, out of the breath, out of the legs, out of the spine. We could find a space of familiarity and quiet. We'll take that simple twist just one step further by deepening the work into the hips. So building a support for the hips. If you know that coming into pigeon is not appropriate, and pigeon being knee up, the other leg extended behind you, we will prop it up with the blanket. We'll clean it up. Just giving you a moment here. If you know this doesn't work for you, then you lie on your back and you cross your left ankle over your right knee, interlacing your fingers behind the thigh or the shin. Otherwise, if you are ready for your pigeon, you have both blocks up in front. You will, I'm going to turn this way because it's better to see you. You'll fold your blanket in half lengthwise. So you've made this shape and you put it right down the middle and you step your left knee in front of that blanket. And that means that your hips can find the blanket. If you need to, you can double it up one more time, walking your right toes back. So your left outer hip has the support of the blanket. The right front of hip may have support of the blanket. And you can put blocks out in front, lightly resting your hands without pressing your hands and jamming your weight into your low back. It's more that your hands are there to keep the front of your chest so that it can rise. Right hip comes forward. And then as you're ready, you walk your hands forward. You may take your blocks with you, giving yourself that little extra height, little support, or fingertips to the floor. Or you can set your block under your chest for a moment. Turning the chin, lengthening out, top of your right foot to the floor, right hip wraps forward. You'll walk to bring your sternum, the center of your chest, over your left thigh, folding there. Wrapping your right hip forward, folding there. Walk through the center again, and now walk your arms over to 2 o'clock. Elbows down. If you need to, forearms can be on the blocks. Right? Nice and high, nice and steady. Softening through the hips, through the outer left hip, outer left knee. And just as we did before, we're going to come into the center, adding a block or two, if you need to, under your right hand. Okay? I'll put two just to demonstrate. Left hand on your left thigh, you start to turn your navel to the left, turn your chin to your left shoulder. Right hand on those blocks, this might be perfect. You're opening your right psoas that connects your low back to the front of the head, or your right hip, left outer thigh. Well, left hand goes back, bending the knee. Press your foot open the chest. If you don't need the blocks, right hand down, turning through the navel, turn 3. Turn 2. If it's too much for you, you just fold in your pigeon. And we let go. Downward facing dog. It's a big turn. It's a big ask. Upper and lower body. And just feel what it makes. Left hand press down. Left hip high. Left heel down. Open the left side body. Drop your head. And stay. And your breathing becomes so steady. So simple. Left hand, left armpit, left hip, left heel. Right knee comes up, right behind your right wrist. And then sit back. Checking that you have the blanket underneath your right seat and in front of your left hip. Flatten the back foot. Hands may start on blocks. And the hands on blocks helps you to start to make a little length, a little familiarity up and out of the front of the pelvis. Rooting the left hip a little bit forward. Chest is broad. Settle, settle, settle. If we can become peaceful, if we can become willing, this has the opportunity to reach all the way up to the outer jaw. Fold your way forward, walking your blocks forward or walking your hands forward. Bring yourself down. Heart stays forward, maybe working on your fingertips. Heart stays forward. Long through the spine. Walk yourself over so you bring the center of your chest over your right thigh, staying on your forearms or your forearms on your blocks. Square your hips, heart long. Oh. For me, as I make the space in my body, as there is more breath available, I can be neutral about it and go, oh yes, that's changing. Or I can bring it in and I can change. Walk to the left side. Bringing your heart to 10 o'clock. And I can use that change and say, good morning. Good morning. I can use that change to address the uncertainty that absolutely swallowed me whole Thursday night and Friday morning. For whatever reason, it needed to speak, it needed to move. It was confusing and heavy. And I can meet it now with the light I'm making, with the space in my breath. Walk to center. Stack 2 blocks if 2 blocks served you. Stack 1 if it worked. Right hand, right thigh, heart up. This may be the perfect place to be. You're squaring your pelvis, you're broadening your collarbones. You're lifting your spirits. A hint of a smile. Bend your back knee, hand to inner foot. It's a big twist, it's a big ask. You've prepared it. You've made it. Chest is broad. Use your left hand. Remember that moment when your feet were wide and you were folded and you were revolved right through the spine, right through the navel, right to the tips of your toes, right to the top of your sweet head. Find your breath. Chin can turn side to side, make space, make help, make heat. And let it go. Unfolding into your downward facing dog. Take your time. Right hand, right armpit, right hip, right heel. The current is clean. And in that clarity, we have such a different understanding of ourselves. Setting the blanket aside for a moment, we'll flush it out. You may do a full 2 vinyasa. Hi, Luca. Or just bringing knees to the floor. Inhale, exhale, we'll go back. The way we began with those ohms, inhaling up, hands, knees, exhaling down dog if you prefer, all the way through your vinyasa, high plank, knees down, child's pose, flow it out. Inhale, hips coming a little further forward, rock it out. Exhaling down dog. We meet in dog, so wherever you've gone, walk your feet to your hands. Hands on the backs of your calves, your ankles, your shins, your heels, folding. Drawing up on your hands. Loop. Go. And folding down through the legs. Up through the hips. Down through the legs. And the big bend in your knees. Sit down. We'll come to lie on your back. You bring your block with you. Knees bent, feet flat. And pause. Heels are a little wider than your knees falling in. Settle your low back toward the floor. I will offer a full bridge. And then I will offer a full wheel. And then I'll bring it back into a restorative bridge. And we'll meet in this pose. If you are at a moment where this quiet and this stillness is perfect and absolutely restoring you, all you will do is lift your head, put your block crossways under your seat, heels wide, tuck your shoulder blades, palms open, and pause right there, and we will come back and we will meet you. Otherwise, elbows down beside you. Walk your heels under your knees, feet flat, hips up, shoulders down. Tuck a shoulder, tuck another, elbows down. And so you just lift the left hip, press into the left heel to open the left hip, drop down, press your right heel down to press your right hip up. And drop down, and press the left hip up, and drop down, and press your right hip up, and drop down. And now let your outer feet be on the floor. Let your knees come open, and bring your feet flat, and bring your inner thighs towards each other. That's where you stand up. Bend your knees, soften your hips, let your knees fall open, let your inner feet come off the floor. Feet flat, inner thighs down, press your inner heels down, press your elbows down, stay 3. Stay 2, inner feet falling in, inner thighs falling down. And then roll down. If you like, rest a restorative bridge. Hands down, hips open, or hands wide, palms down. I will come back and meet you here. If you'd like a second bridge, set yourself up, elbows down, hips high, staying, interlacing your fingers, straightening your arms, a full bridge, or fingertips under your shoulders. Press your palms down, find the crown of your head, wrap your elbows in, stand in your heels, stand in your hands, finding a full wheel. Your shoulders are open today. Turn your chin side to side. If you want to go further, lift your heels. With the heels lifted a step closer, feet towards hands. Be listening to your spine, please. Hips stay high, just like we did with those one hip and the other hip. And then both heels descend. Inner thighs drop down, inner feet drop down, standing in your feet, opening the chest. Lift your heels, walk your feet a step back away from your hands. Bend your elbows, crown of the head. Elbows tuck. Back of the head. We all come down and meet hands on thighs. I will build a restorative bridge for all of us in a moment. Pause.
Throw your right knee into your chest. Interlace your fingers. Not going far. Just easing the effort of your right low back. Deepen the crease. Walk your hands a little further down your shin, slowly melting your shin towards your thigh. And changing sides, right foot flat. You can shake out the right leg long, and then the left knee into your chest. Your breath into the back of your body. Slowing and deepening your breathing into your abdomen. Hands a little further down your shin, bring it close. Settle. Left foot flat, add a block. So the block goes widthwise under your seat. And then you draw a knee up and another knee up. Hands can support you, float your feet. And it's as though you're trying to sit into the backs of your hips. So you're making a little bit of an arch in the back. Tuck a shoulder, tuck another. You support yourself. You can lift your heels. You can hold the backs of the thighs. This can be your shoulder stand, your inversion. Or your elbows go down, your knees bend. And you roll your hips a little further, catching the backs of your hips as you can. And the good thing is no one can see you, no matter how undignified that just was or still is. Make your way up. If you need to get rid of the block, get rid of the block. You're just catching your outer hips and your outer hands, letting your knees be soft here. We're going to straighten one leg and straighten the other. And straighten one leg and straighten the other. Good, good, good. Until both knees can float. Lengthen the back of your neck, lifting your heart. Keep it nice and soft. Bending your knees, we'll put one foot overhead and the other foot overhead. And that too might feel a little undignified, which is okay. Two knees bend. We're getting a little rounder, and maybe that's where you stay. Maybe the feet are floating, but the hands are supported. Keep your weight in your hands. This will keep your back from straining, or the toe tips to the floor. If you have a full plow, tuck a shoulder, tuck another. If you like, interlace your fingers, arms going long. All options, all options, all options. Nothing needs to be forced. You have places. If nothing else, you're resting the backs of your back of your hips on the block. Bend your knees, put your hands on your hips, bring it up. You're a little taller now. You've gotten some breath into the back of your heart. You're floating through the feet. And we all come down, knees bend. Roll back down. And if you had the block under your hips, set it down. Knees bend, feet flat. Pause there. Let the front of the body and the back of the body become steady. Feeling the very center line. That work we just did, flushing out the back of the spine. Interlace your fingers behind your right thigh, heel high. Take your hands as low around your hip as you can, shoulders back, left leg straightened. And press into your heels. Square the hips, square the shoulders, press into the backs of your thighs. Reassemble yourself. It's a very, very grounding pose. Press both legs straight as you can. Flex your feet, legs are strong, spine is strong. So we want to be able to choose when we want our spine to be malleable and when we want it to be secure. If we are over flexible, we don't have any stability. And if we're over stuck, there we go. Little kitty visit. If we're stuck, nothing or rigid, walk your hands up through the backs of your knees or the back of your shin. Take your right leg wide. If you need to, your right hand on your right inner knee, keep your knee softly bent. Press into the left heel and the right heel, and the inner thigh opens. And back into the middle. Right knee is bent. Lift up and come onto your left outer hip and take your right knee across. If you need to, use your block under your right knee. Take your right hand wide. Deep, full breaths into the chest. Let your chin turn side to side. Let your chin turn side to side. And you may work exactly here or bend your left knee, just as we've done today with the knee down, bending your knee. Take your right hand to catch your inner left foot. And then you're drawing your hands apart. Now keep your chin side to side so that you're rinsing from the hips all the way through the spine, through the collarbones, through the chest, through the face. Press your left hip forward, scissor your thighs, give it a little action in the low body, rinsing, strengthening, rinsing. Firm the left hip, and then release, untwist, hips square, and pause. Interlace your finger behind your left thigh. Right leg long. Oh dear. Left leg long. Your hands as low around your left hip as you can and press the left hip forward to open through the shoulders, the throat, the face. Feet are strong, legs are strong, but in that strength, you're aligned. Soften your face. Find a great smile. Press into your legs and take your left leg wide. So holding the outer left foot or your right hand on your left hand on the left inner thigh, right hand wide. Firm your legs, firm the posture that you could press into your feet, that any emotional upheaval could be felt like a wrinkle in your body, and this clarity through your legs is smoothing the wrinkles out of your system. And keep that good, strong, firm attention in your body. Bend your left knee and take your left knee across your right side body. Come onto your right outer hip. A block underneath your left knee if you need it, and the left hand wide. Turn your chin side to side. Get it all the way through the spine, out the top of your head, out the tips of your left fingers. This central channel through the spine The last place to really clean house. Now this, you stay here, or you bend your right knee as we've done, catching the top of the inner foot to revolve, firm. Press the top of your right foot into your left hand. Press your right hip forward, your left knee down, and you spin your hands, drawing apart your navel, revolving. Turn your chin side to side. No force, but a real quality of precision and arrival. Be wise. One more. Ha. So that when you come back into center, you can release. Sitting neutral. Hands on thighs a moment. Open the abdomen. Open the breath. Little wag of the tail, loosen the hips, loosen the pelvis. Walk your legs out long and wide. Your heels finding the outer edges of the mat. Shake out your feet side to side and your knees up and down. Your left heel is at the left corner of the mat. Don't move that. Across your right foot over the left ankle. Take your hands overhead. Your shoulders a little to the left. Hips stay center. Your left hand holds your right wrist. Settle. Close your eyes. Let your attention reside in your feet. And with your attention, on your inhalation, go from the sole of your right foot up your right side body to the palm of your right hand. And on your exhalation, go from the palm of your right hand down to the sole of your right foot. You're just sweeping your attention through the right side body. You're sweeping your attention through the right side body. Removing body blocks, removing the stories, the cobwebs, the holding. And uncross your feet. Let your hands rest down a beat. And pause. Soften. Right heel at the outer right aspect of your mat. Hips in the center. Cross your left ankle over your right. Walk your shoulders a little to the right. Hips in the center. Hands overhead. Your right hand holds your left wrist softly to the right side, and you release into the floor. Trust the bind of your ankles and the bind of your wrists. Close your eyes. Release into the support of the floor, the support of the bind, a little rinse of the ankles, a little squeeze of the legs, and let it go. Let your attention reside in the soles of your feet. They are warm and they are bright with your attention. On your inhalation, your attention from the sole of your foot up your left leg, up the left torso into the left palm. On your exhalation from your left palm, down through the arm, the torso, the hip, to the sole of the foot. So follow your breath with your mind. Sweeping through the left side body with your attention. Each side is different. Inhaling up to the hand, exhaling down to the feet. Little squeeze of the ankle. Good, good, good. And release into the center. Feet side to side, hips side to side, knees up and down. Backs of your hands to the floor. If you need a blanket, open your blanket over your hips and your torso to keep yourself steady. If you need to bring your knees into your chest one last time and let it go.
Set yourself up in a comfortable, supported Shavasana. I will finish you out seated and talking. And this is a meditation to move from two into one, to integrate ourselves from right side and left, to come back together. And so making any adjustments that you need. Let your breathing be free, full. If you need to, a few larger breaths through the belly. Softening the abdomen, softening the shoulders, softening the pelvis. And then again, your attention resides in your feet. Feel them warm and bright. Feeling the body settle, feeling your attention settle in your feet. Notice the left foot and notice the right foot, and notice if the heat and the light, the ease or the tension is equal, left and right. And if not, just distribute your attention until the feet are equal. And bring your attention into the left ankle and the right ankle. Notice any difference. And with your attention, let them become equal. Right equals left, left equals right. And as they become equal, they become one ankle, one foot. Bring your attention to your knees, left knee and right knee. Feel their differences. The front, the back, the top, the bottom, the sides. Give them your attention. Give them light. Give them heat. What adjustment needs to be made that they could be equal? Left side, right side, knees are equal until they become one knee. One ankle, one foot. Left hip, right hip. Give your hips and your pelvis your awareness, your attention, your curiosity. And then bring your hips, your breath. Feel the outer hip, the inner hip, the socket, the bones. Be aware of each one separately. And then be aware of them together. Compare. How are they different? until your hips are equal, equal heat, equal ease, and they become one hip, one knee, one ankle, one foot. We are reuniting ourselves, our physical form. Feeling the left hand and the right hand. Your attention through the thumbs and the fingers and the palms, the front and the back. The body is at ease. The hands are warm and bright, and with your attention, they become equal. They become one hand. Your attention in your elbows. Left elbow, right elbow, front, back, inside, outside. Your attention, one at a time. And then feeling both elbows. Bring them to equality. Until they are one elbow. Until becoming one thing is becoming more familiar. Left shoulder, right shoulder. Softening the grip of the shoulders across the chest, the upper back and the arms. Aware of the inside, the bones of the socket. Aware of the ligaments. Aware of the great reach through the back of the neck and the sides of the spine that are interfacing. The shoulders soften until the left shoulder equals the right shoulder. And they become one shoulder, one hand, one hip, one knee, one ankle, one foot, one body. The face is soft. The lips are soft. The expression is open. One body, whole. Feel the breath through your nostrils. From the nostrils up to the bridge of your nose. And on the exhale, from the bridge of the nose out the tips. Feel the breath move in and up. Feel the breath move out and down. Bring your attention to the left side nostril as though you were only breathing through the left side. Feel the temperature, the movement of the air. Left side sinus, left side throat. And then the right side nostril. Feel the breath move in and out. Right up to the bridge of the nose and back down. Your attention follows the movement of the breath. And then breathing in through both. And breathing out through both. Until it's one nostril. Until it's one breath. One breath in this one body. One body for this one soul. and this soul at rest in this one day. Allowing yourself complete ease. And in that ease, what will you do with it? Give it the slightest sensation of a smile. Your face doesn't change, just the sensation, like the memory of a smile. And that sensation of a smile through your eyes and your mouth and your lips. And breathing it into your lungs, your heart. The sensation of a smile in your lungs. The way that that sensation of a smile can be transported throughout your body. Not waiting for a good mood to strike, but actively and intentionally elevating ourselves with the slightest of sensation. Eyes at ease, the mouth at ease, the ears at ease. With that smile, begin to take your hands overhead, lengthening out. Out through the feet, out through the hands, out through the whole good body that you have reassembled. And you roll onto your right side and let your head rest on your right upper arm and let your knees bend. And let yourself feel the front of your body and the back of your body. Feel the top of your head and the base of your seat. Bring it up into a simple seat. Arriving tall. Sweep wide to reach up. Palms together right down the middle. We'll add our Om. A in the belly, U in the chest, M in the head. Om. Two more. Bring it in. Ring yourself like a bell. One more. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, perfect peace. Hands to your forehead center. We are reassembled, bright and whole and clear. Namaste. Have a fantastic Saturday. I will be back tomorrow, Sunday morning, 8 to 9, and then a bit of a Dharma talk from about 9:10 to 9:30, right here, whatever you're watching, Facebook, YouTube. I'll be there. The Dharma talk is about practice, about establishing practice. We've had an opportunity to be this shelter at home quarantine time. We've been able to change and see our schedules very differently. And before we reestablish an outer world experience again, let's use some of May to really establish what the things are that saw us through, how they can be the center point of how we set up our time and our space and our home and our choices. And so if you haven't done any Kundalini before, you are welcome. You'll feel pieces of what we just did. You'll be familiar with what we just did. We just emptied it all the way out. There's a very similar sequence next Saturday. And I will see you wherever you decide to show up. More information is on marthamcalpin.com. There are playlists, there are props, there are places to donate if you feel it. I'll see you soon.